You're listening to The Hang with Mike Manson Waters and Matt Spice Floyd.
Welcome to The Hang. What's up, Matt?
Hi, Mike.
How's it going?
Oh, man, another week.
I guess we should have how's it hanging.
Oh, I see what you did there.
What we should do. That's what people want. They want the cheese.
Yes.
How's it hanging? That's we should change the name of the show. How's it
hanging? Well, it's summer, so it's hanging all right.
Whew.
Winter, not so much.
That was a great winter and spring for the last 5 years. We haven't had a winter or spring, so it's been nice.
Yeah, I forgot how nice and lovely, genuinely lovely this area is in the month of March and half of April.
Fantastic.
I was like, I have to remember this next year of making a point to, have a party or something like that in that time frame where it's nice.
We missed, we didn't do anything outside. We did one time. We had tacos out in the pasture.
Yep.
And had the kids over.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was not, and it's going to be so nice for about another 2 weeks, and it's going to be miserable. So we're trying
until when? What, October, almost into November?
Sometimes into November, but hey,
That could be worse.
It's better than snow.
We could be Dubai right now.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I got it.
Do you have that?
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's all through cloud seeding and shit like that, right?
So that's what I was wondering. I haven't read too much about it. I just saw the clip of the airport with torrential downpours and all these things going on. And I'm I was thinking the same thing. I'm going, okay, are they manipulating weather? Because if some place could manipulate weather, it would be Dubai. I mean, they do have the capability to make it rain over there and all that. So I don't know what the deal is, but it's crazy looking, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of. I don't know what's. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I mean, you see, they'll say stuff like, this is the most rain Dubai has gotten in 75 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means 75 years ago it did the same thing, right?
Well, that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that.
I mean, they always go, this is the storm of the century. It has not flooded like this in 100 years. Well, 100 years ago it did the same thing. So
yeah. Not getting rain for 75 years is pretty good.
And plus, there goes your climate change right out the window. It happened 100 years ago, and it's happening today. Here's a little Dubai. I think this is speeded up. No. Yeah. I don't know why they got it on fast forward.
Attention spans are getting shorter.
That's what it is. Everything's going to... Do you ever watch anything in
1.5 speed?
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what they say. Some people strictly watch everything in 1.5 speed because they have no attention span.
Well,
that's insane.
I've tried to do because you can do it more than that, 2 or 2.5 speed or whatever. But then it just gets Mickey Mousey. So yeah. I'm like, all right, 1.5. That saves me a few minutes. If I'm going to listen to the whole thing and watch the whole thing, I get through it a couple minutes early. It's not so bad.
Like the guy in the commercial where he's listening to it on 17 times speed to get done with the book. So he can go to the book club.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you seen that commercial?
I have, yes.
Well, who's in a book club?
I know somebody that's in a book club. My buddy's wife's in a book club. They meet every week.
Talk about the book?
I have no idea what the book club does. I don't.
I mean, we could have a book club and we wouldn't talk about the book. It'd be another hang.
Maybe that's the rib about the book club.
Just an excuse to hang.
Yeah. I think also these wives and girls, they really like naughty novels, like those nasty things.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yes. I think they're all getting around reading those books and trading those off and getting all, hot and bothered.
Is that the deal?
It might be the deal. I don't know. But yeah, Dubai, man, that's a crazy little scene over there. I
prefer not to see that 1.5 speed, but I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, look at that. What's the noises in the background?
I gotta tell you,
Are they
I don't
giving
know
us
if
some
all
kind
this
of
is
Godzilla?
real.
This could be Miami.
Yeah,
From Hurricane Andrew. This could be anything.
it could be an outtake from Jurassic Park with the like I don't know.
Yeah, they're definitely putting that in there.
That's a T-Rex sneaking up on you.
Oh,
come
that's
on.
not even
Come
real.
on.
Okay, he got me. I got as usual. I got a lot. That ain't.
Come on, that's total CGI.
That's total CGI. No, this is real. The airport's
The
real.
airport's real.
This is real for 100% real. That's all real. I've seen that footage. That's real.
But they've added in the noises.
I don't know why.
Because they're content creators. They're creating content.
They got me. I gave him a click.
I'll tell you what, I'm not getting on that plane.
No, I'm not. I'm jumping off that plane.
I'd be too afraid.
See that? This is real right there. See, we just don't need the velociraptors in the background. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool video to watch without all the fake stuff.
Here's allegedly a drone video. It's probably fake as well.
Yeah. Well, hold on. It might be fake because where's all the greenery coming from? I thought in the they got greenery like that. They got box hedges in the middle of the desert.
No.
I'm not sure.
It's just a little greenery. That doesn't look that impressive.
But if it hasn't rained like that, how's the greenery staying
maybe
green?
There's a trickle.
My lawn can't stay green for more than 2 days without a sprinkler.
So, has anybody even offered up an explanation, or is it just?
I mean, the only explanation I've seen is sort of that conspiracy angle of like weather manipulation. And ordinarily, I'd be like, I don't know. But over there again, it seems completely plausible.
Artificial rain via cloud seeding created havoc in Dubai, but this is from some guy on Twitter. I mean, I don't know if I believe him.
But I do think that it's one of the countries that does that, and they make it rain or have made it rain in the past, almost to entice tourism. Like they do like rain shows. And again, I haven't looked it up in years, but I swear I heard that before. Where they'll do like planned rain of like, okay, at 3:30 it's going to rain. And they manipulate the weather to make it rain.
But is it raining like that?
Not like that.
I don't know if they could do that. I don't know.
Whole thing's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
Or it's just a little rain in Dubai.
Yeah.
And everybody's tripping out over it.
Everybody's reposting the same 3 videos, and it ain't that big of a deal. I need a haircut. That's all I know.
Why? It looks lovely.
It's just getting out of control.
What are you going to do with it?
I just cut the sides down and a little bit off the top.
I hate poofy sides.
I can't stand. I want to see people like Ron DeSantis, and I go, Ron, if you would just cut the sides a little, to get rid. Tucker Carlson, just get a hair. He doesn't even try.
No,
he doesn't even try with it. Just get a haircut, and you'd look 1,000. Donald Trump, get a modern hairdo.
His sides are out of control.
His top is, everything is out of control.
But I mean, what are you going to do? Like, some people you'd be like, dude, just shave your head. Just end it, right? Like, I was to that point, I'm going, all right, Matt, just time to start shaving the head. It's over, which I'm fine with, right?
Yeah.
Trump, but like, if he were to cut his hair, like, that's the gimmick, right?
It's kind of his gimmick. Orange with the hair, the comb over.
Yeah, so if he popped up one day and was like, decided to shave my head, like, it would... I guarantee he would lose votes over it. People would be so upset.
Do you think people would be so upset, or do you think he would be reborn?
They would do Dr. Evil memes about him. They would take it and shove it right back up there.
Could it get any worse than what he already takes, though? I mean...
I don't know. I'm this trial, the jury selection, they've got like 7 jurors picked out. I don't know. It's gonna get crazy. I like watching Stormy Daniels react to people that will still be like, oh, you're a lying whore. And she'll say something back on social media to some of these people. And but it's hard for me to believe that people still don't think that, like, Trump had relations with her. And it's like, she told me it happened. She had no reason to lie in the studio when she admitted that and told us. Again, this is going back. Trump was not
Yeah,
president. He wasn't a contender. It was way before that. And it, like, I don't know why it's so unbelievable for people to be like, oh, Trump wouldn't do her. It's like, yeah, he would. And he did. I mean, you know, like, get past it, fine. But don't call her a lying whore. Be like, oh, he never slept with you. It's like, yeah.
Come on. I mean, imagine how many women Trump has slept with.
Sure.
Outside of wedlock.
Sure.
I mean, that's what most rich guys, most powerful guys
are going
to do that. I'm sure he's had sex with. I mean, didn't he have sex with Marla Maples while he was married to? What's the other? It's not Ivanka.
Melania?
Ivana Trump. He cheated on her. I'm sure he cheated on Melania. I'm sure
Dude, I forgot about Marla Maples. That's how many things he's had going on.
Was he married? Wasn't he married to her? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
Triple H Sword subscribed for 46 months. Thank you very much. B Bumpy is on a 3-stream watch streak. You missed a stream, B Bumpy. You missed a stream. Now you're down to 0.
3 streams.
Tommy Bernhardt says, "Do you still get a free sub with regular Amazon Prime, or do you need the Amazon Gaming?" I don't know. It's always been Amazon Prime gets you a free sub.
Does it really? What do you mean? Oh,
free sub to Twitch.
Oh, I was like, free sub.
Free sub.
Free sub. I'm hungry.
Sub is like $9.99 now.
Dude, yeah.
Easy Rider, 21 months. Thank you very much, Easy Rider. Appreciate it. ATXJC. 37 months.
Nice.
Appreciate it. Here, look, we got some love here on Facebook. As soon as I put it up, where'd it go? There. I lost it. I swear it was there.
Or not.
Maybe it was on Twitter.
Well, you know.
I think it's on Twitter.
What did we put? What did you put on Twitter?
Well, I just put my thing up and then no, it's not on. There it is.
Oh, there we are.
There's Jason Purcell says he says my favorite show.
Oh, that's nice.
That's not it. Where is it? There it is. My favorite show of the week.
Nice.
With a fire emoji.
Oh, we got the fire emoji too?
Yeah, we got the fire emoji. So thank you very much, Jason Purcell.
Thank you.
For that. Appreciate everybody who tunes into The Hang.
That's cool. Yeah.
And sees it on and listens to it on Spotify and watches it on YouTube and checks out the Hang OT on clusterfshow.com. Thank you very much.
A lot of good stuff. So you're feeling all right?
I feel pretty good. I'm really trying to appreciate, not dying. No, like, I don't think it's not diverticulitis. I still got it, but it ain't no big deal. Just adult pain.
I was thinking about you because, like, when you were talking about it, it's like brings up that thought of like, all right, that song like "Live Like You're Dying," Yeah.
It's
like, I'm going, okay, if it's your last day on Earth, right? Like your last day. Like, I started thinking about what I would do on my last day, and I kind of would just want to
chill out.
Kind of get, yeah. I don't like, some people are like, oh, even in the song, it's like, oh,
bull riding.
Yes, and I'm like, I just kind of wanted to smoke a fat joint for once. Like that would be.
Yeah, that'd be me. I was like, well, I'm gonna sit out on the porch, babe. Let's sit out on the porch, and I'm gonna get a beer and smoke a joint, and we'll chat and watch the birds, and I'll fade away.
And I started thinking about him, going, okay, well, do you try to call people and say goodbye? But it's like if you only have one day left,
that's ruining my last day.
Yeah, you got 24 hours. You only got so much bandwidth,
I'm
right?
Gonna be selfish. I'm gonna be selfish on my last day.
Yeah, like I would maybe send out a text, but then I'd get annoyed with the text messages back. So I think I would just. Yeah, maybe just sit and see if I can get a nice.
Because I think,
get a high.
If you let's gather all the family around. Well, they're just going to all be crying and sad. I was like, man, this is my last day. Everybody's miserable.
Yeah. Can I do something I want to do on my last day, please?
So selfish. So it's not all about you. It's my last day.
I always think about that when Father's Day rolls around and like the family, they want to. Oh, what are we going to do for Father's Day? It's like I don't want to be a dick here. But I don't want to do anything on Father's Day. Like, I don't want to go to breakfast. I don't want to.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, it's Father's Day.
Father's Day. Everybody get out of the house.
What do you mean you want to go for a bike ride? Yes, that's Father's Day. Father's Day, you're supposed to spend time with everybody.
Yeah, fortunately, Father's Day is not that big of a deal. And Nobody cares about that.
Mother's Day, everybody cares.
Oh, it's a big deal.
That is a to-do.
We got to get together for Mother's Day. It's a big to-do. Father's Day, see, because dads are like, yeah, let's not make it a big to-do. Let's just keep it low key.
And then then as the father, you have to buy something for the wife on behalf of the children on top of it.
Yeah, so you got to get two
gifts,
things.
even more.
Valentine's
sometimes.
Day, Mother's Day, anniversary, birthday, Christmas. It's like 40 years, so that's, you're talking hundreds of gifts.
Dude.
I'm out of ideas.
What?
Out of ideas. We quit celebrating Valentine's Day, and it was glorious.
Good for you.
Glorious.
Taking a stand as the owner of a flower shop whose livelihood depends
I think
on Hallmark holidays like Valentine's Day. Good for you.
I think the flower shop sucked Valentine's Day out of us. We were just like,
I get it.
we're like,
Yeah, it's like it pulls back the curtain on everything. You go, this really isn't that fun.
it's just a made-up holiday. Vampire Jeremy, 125 stream watch stream.
Damn.
Holy Jesus.
Get a life, Vampire Jeremy.
Gee, Jiminy Christmas. You might want to miss an episode or two.
Isn't there a Seinfeld rerun on somewhere?
It's got to be better than this. Come on, dude. Wise it up. Just kidding. Thank you very much for your undying support, Vampire Jeremy. I got some stuff from Blind Lawrence later for the OT. He just said, we were talking about some of the disgusting things the old show did.
Yes.
He tried to remind me of a few. He also gave me some Ricker audio.
Okay.
Remember Ricker?
Of course I remember Ricker.
Remember Max?
Yes, of course I remember
forgot
Max.
about both of those guys. Both of those guys, he got fired.
That's correct.
He got both of those guys fired. Who wants to take somebody's job? And those guys were just low key. There was nothing wrong with those guys. They didn't toe the total Bubba line, so they had to go.
Well, Ricker's girlfriend at the time was a coincidental winner of the 12 boobs, and she wouldn't come in and show him off, and so he got him fired. It was very strange. It's.
Do you think you could even get away with making girls who won a contest show their boobs now? I think that's a lawsuit nowadays.
Oh, everything's a lawsuit now.
No way. Now take your shirt off. And it's in the contract.
And meanwhile, nor should you. Like that's psychotic behavior.
It's so wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. The older I get, I'm
free
like,
boobs. I got to show them to every loser in this studio. like John Boy, valve up on him. John Boy.
Yeah, weird stuff. Okay, so in the OT, we'll go through some Blind Lawrence stuff.
Blind Lawrence stuff. We got some Ricker about audio talking about Bubba, which is always good.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I like Ricker.
And I can tell this one now. It's like it reminded me, for some reason, of this. Like, you weren't there. You weren't there for all the bad stuff. Not the bad stuff, just the miserable stuff.
Okay.
When the show just got awful. And he was like constantly, just shitting on Trace. Trace was on the air, full time, and he was just shitting on him every day. And then he brought this guy Colton in, who was a friend of Trace's, and he brought him in, and he was doing some stuff. He was fine, but he wasn't, he was really not an on-air guy. So
like a dynamic personality type.
He didn't have a lot of zingers or anything. So he brought Colton in the studio because he's like, you got to see if he's better than you in the chair. So he brought him in for a week, and he said nothing funny. And then he did the I don't know where he came up with this idea, but there's a song called "Seasons in the Sun." We've probably never heard of it. It's like a 70s song.
Okay.
We had joy, we had fun, we had it's a real cheesy song by Terry Jacks. And Bubba came up with the Terry Jacks off. And so
brilliant.
Yeah, so Trace and Colton had to compete singing Terry Jacks songs on the big stage.
Oh, I get it. The Jacks off.
Yeah, you get it. And that was the whole.
Now I get it.
That was the whole thing, was the Terry Jacks off, and so.
But
so it goes.
See how many times you could wear that joke out.
Oh, it was worn out for a week, and then they do the Terry Jacks off, and then it's over, and it was terrible. It was just stupid, and there's no way you can make that good, no matter who's doing it. You can't make singing a 70s song that nobody knows and competing with another guy fun.
So you can say Terry Jacks off a million times?
Say Terry Jacks off a million times. And I'm leaving. He's like, matching. He's like, that was so good. He's like, we got to do that every year. And I was like, oh, my God, no. And he was like taken aback. He was like, what do you mean, no? I was like,
you actually said no.
Yeah. I said, no, that was terrible. I said, that was one time maybe. I said, no, we can't do that again. He, fuck you.
Oh, God.
The best thing was, it was terrible. And so at the end of so Colton goes, and it was lame. And Trace goes, and it was lame too, because there's nothing you can do. But then at the end, he took his guitar, his acoustic guitar, what he was pretending to play, and he smashed it to smithereens on the stage. I was like, oh, well, that was at least some entertainment there. And Bubba didn't have the camera on him and wasn't even looking at him. I said, at least a good part was the guitar smashing. He said, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't even know he did it.
That sounds it tracks.
Yeah, everything. You missed all the demise. You got out. Well, the getting was good, buddy. Well, you're a little late, but
yeah. Well, let's be clear.
But we were still on the bone. So I mean, we were number one.
Yeah.
And then it was a rapid. Well, not really that. It was
because then you guys got on the 98.7 signal with a station named after it, and then he cheated on the ratings.
Yeah.
Like that's, I mean, I don't know how long that period of the 98.7 signal lasted, but in reality, like it was a name, like it was a novel, insane idea that he completely messed up.
I mean, imagine, if you had, Matt 101.5.
Right.
You'd be like, wow. I mean, talk about making it. I've got my own radio station in my hometown. In my own town. I got my own radio station. I'm going to...
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the dream.
The dream.
Like, I can't... Okay, honestly, and not to give the credit or anything like that, I just personally can't think of another terrestrial station, right? You could look at Sirius XM and you say, okay, Howard's got his Howard channels, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
I can't, for the life of me, name another terrestrial station that was actually named after a personality.
I don't think so. I don't think there is one.
I can't.
Not even Rush Limbaugh. There's no Rush 103.5.
Right. So I don't even know. So that was stepping into new territory, potentially trailblazing territory.
Yeah.
If you think about it from that world. And then he cheated on the ratings.
Flagrantly. So flagrantly, he was blackballed from his industry. You go from having your own station to blackballed in a 1 year period.
Okay, or was he so passionate about his station project that he was willing to do whatever it takes to get it to survive and thrive, right? I mean, one could look at it like that.
I mean, I don't think it had the greatest signal, and allegedly they were going to upgrade the signal, but it's like, it doesn't matter. You got your own station, man. You don't even give it a year before you start cheating on the ratings. You don't even give it a year. And it takes a year, in radio, for morning shows, for any radio station to do anything. No radio station comes on generally and goes, zooms to number one in 3 months. It just doesn't happen. And he didn't even give it a chance. And, I mean, I should be way more bitter.
Oh, yeah.
Mornings, middays, afternoons, in my hometown. Got to do it for a year, and then...
And you didn't even cheat on the ratings.
He asked me to. Go in there and change the station and make it vibrate some more to make sure it's legit. And I walked in there and looked at that shit and went, I ain't doing this.
What were you doing, afternoons too? Or something?
I was doing mornings, middays, and afternoons.
Middays. He was probably purposely changing the meters away from your show.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, he was probably tuning over to one of the other stations.
I guarantee.
He was manipulating the ratings against his own station, against his own.
And he would so do that.
Oh.
He would so do that.
It's like the ultimate act of self-sabotage.
He self-sabotaged himself.
It's
out
my
of the business.
station, but I don't know what's going on with my middays and afternoon slot.
Well, I'm on, man. You need to pick it up, man. You're in the toilet. Drew Robbo's kicking you around.
Not letting you get bonuses because he's changing that. I don't know.
The bonuses, that was out. There wasn't a bonus to be had for years and years.
Oh, boy. Well.
So I'm like, see, I should be way bitter, but whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do about it. I busted my ass. I was working fucking 12, 14 hours a day, and I'm on the couch getting phone, the phone rings at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I was like, oh, this must be a drunk guy. I jump up and go answer the phone so I can get the drunk guy. But hey, I don't worry about it. I do my own thing. I enjoy hanging. I enjoy cluster effing. I enjoy Ned. I enjoy all of it. And I don't have to worry about nobody effing it up but me. If it gets effed up, it's on me. And I ain't gonna F it up.
Well, good. And then there you have it. I don't know. The whole thing is, there's some things. I'm sure we'll get into it on the VIP.
Yeah. I don't know,
It's unzipping me on a few things.
Berlin's 8-inch lock subscribed for 52 months. That's deep. Appreciate it. 52 months. But I got to get my haircut, and it's hard to get a haircut because my barber, he owns a shop, and he only works like 2 days a week. And I'm like, that.
What are you loyal? Are you loyal to the barber?
Yeah, because he's like the only barber I've ever had that he's a good conversationalist, and he's like a libertarian like me. So we go in there. Well, you know how painful it is to talk to the barber normally.
Exactly.
It sucks. I either like him to not say anything, which is fine with me. Don't say nothing. Just cut.
Right.
Or he's like really interesting guy, and we have really interesting conversations. So yeah, he's the only guy I go to because I don't like getting a new barber, and
there's a getting to know period of
it's not good.
Of these things.
It's rarely. He's the only guy I've ever found that was halfway interesting. So I was like latched on to him. I was like, "You're my barber, buddy."
So he can't get you in as long as you've known this guy.
No, I just keep. There's a lot going on in this circus. So I just if I can't get those 2 days, and
I'll cut your hair. I got you. It can't be that difficult.
It's got to be a masterpiece.
It can't be that difficult.
I think it is.
Yeah, maybe it is. I think
it's like to be a good barber or a hairstylist. You almost have to have like that gift of artistic gift.
That's right. I mean, the African American barbers, those guys with the fades and how they, Jesus.
If you look at the World Cup and you can see all those guys, they got all the hairstyle, all the soccer players have all those super duper styled hairstyles.
I remember when I think one of the last times I went to a barber, barber shop, I should say. I was like, just a skin fade up kind of thing. And I remember the look on his face. He was kind of like, okay. Like that thing of going, I think this is, I don't really have much hair left to cut, right? And it didn't take him long at all. It was like a quick in and out, like a 5-minute skin fade. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I just paid $25 for that. Okay. I'm not going to do that anymore. And then I also started thinking about it. All right. Because there are some folks out there that religiously get their hair cut, like every week. There's guys that will sit in the barber, like
every week. I can't.
Saturday morning, 10 a.m., like every week, right? $30, $40 because they're getting a beard trim. They're doing the whole thing, right? They got to look fresh. They all got to look fresh.
That's too fresh for me.
And I'm sitting here going, you got yourself a monthly bill is all you have.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Because literally they'll go once a week. So you're talking $30, $60, $120 a month to just so you can have this tight little fade.
$1,500 a year.
Right. And I'm cutting out the barber off of my expenses. It's off my balance sheet. It's completely gone.
I got what do you call it? Clippers. So I'll clip the side a couple times before I go back. I'm sure,
And then you go, can you fix this?
I'm gotten pretty good. I can get the sides. So I only go every couple months. So it's not too bad.
I cut my own and then I miss some neck hair in the back. And I have to ask the fam, like, hey. And they'll go, yeah, you're good. And then like 2 days later, I get the, hey, you missed some on your neck. I'm like, where? So for 2 days, you didn't see this 2 days ago? Now I'm just, frustrated.
Do you when you're like, do you like a barber who spent like you said, the guy was 5 minutes. I hate it when they cut your hair, then they spend an extra 10 minutes like trying to get like they're giving you your money's worth. Well, they got a little hair, and you're like, look, just cut my hair, and then when you're done, you're done. I like $22, and
I don't know, a little TLC's nice. I like it when they do that thing where they'll be trim up the sides, and then they'll come around, they'll turn the chair, they'll come around the front, and they look at you, and it's like, is he gonna punch me? What's he doing here?
He seeing?
And he's furrowing his brow, and he's like,
it's very uncomfortable.
And then he'll spin the chair around, and he'll fix something, and spin it back around. He'll do it like 6 times. I'm going,
and he ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, either he's a perfectionist or he fucked up. I'm not sure which one, because I haven't seen it yet. So but it's nice. Barbershops were friendly.
Yeah. Did you get the hot towel ever? You get the hot towel?
I've gotten the hot towel a couple times.
Pretty nice. It's pretty good, the hot towel. I used to
go.
go.
Was nice.
When I had longer hair, I would get, I go to like the salon, the lady,
Salon.
more of the unisex salon, and I get it washed and everything. Oh my God, having somebody else wash your hair is the best. You lean back in that.
Yes.
And just,
Bro, when I had dreadlocks, and they were terrible dreadlocks to begin with. I never I could never just go with it and let them grow out for 9 years or however these people do it. And my dreads, I would go get them washed, and I would go to an African-American salon over in South St. Pete. And God, what was this, 25 years ago or 20 years ago, whatever. And I'd be the only white dude in there, and just older black women. And I'd walk in, I had an appointment, and they would all look at me like, what
are you doing?
Yeah, and I was there to get my hair washed. Like, I'm like, okay, see if you can wash the scalp, give it a nice tea oil treatment or whatever, because I don't like the feeling of a dirty scalp, with dreads and all that stuff. But it was awkward. I would be there for like 3 hours
just to get a hair wash.
Yeah,
waiting, or just it was like they Rosa Parks you. They put you in the back of the shop and say, "We'll get to you, white boy, in a little bit."
They were not in any rush to see me, even with my appointment. I was definitely back of the bus.
How long did you have those dreads?
I had a couple years, maybe a couple years, and I cut them off, and then I did it again, and then I cut them off, and I was like, "It's ridiculous."
I'm not a fan.
Stupid.
Not a fan.
No,
not a fan of the
I'm
dread.
not a. No, I know.
You were young.
Live and learn.
You were young, young and foolish.
Yeah. Dumb.
Berlin's 8-inch lock says $48 for me and my 4-year-old to get Great Clips. To go to Great Clips.
Oh,
Great Clips.
okay. Who said that?
Berlin's 8-inch lock.
How often are they doing that? Because again, I think it's some of these things that people don't look at as bills. Because it's like, oh, okay, we'll go get a haircut. But then you start adding it up. And if you go once a month, twice a month, like that's a little.
I'm trying to remember. Like I tried to cut Trace's hair once, and it was immediately had to take him to the barber shop and went, he's got chunks out of his hair. Sorry.
I don't know if the prices of haircuts have gone up.
Yeah, they have, for sure.
See, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, what are they? I would imagine they're blaming inflation, but it's like you have the same pair of scissors that you've had for the last 10 years. Like, what's gone up in your world from a cost perspective? Maybe your chair rent a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could go up is the rent. The rent for the place.
Other than that.
Which it has, but I don't know. It's gone up. It's like everything, periodically. It was started at 16, then it was 18, then it was 20, now it's 22. And it's like, and you got to factor in the greed. That's what these corporations are doing. It's like you'd think, well, boy, you're not going to see a corporation come out, well, in these hard times, we're going to lower our prices and help out America. Not one of them. We're going to suck the last 5 cents out of every American that we can by jacking up our prices.
Dude, even Costco, the safe haven,
not Costco,
the bastion of somewhat good prices or whatever. Even we noticed they got some price hikes in there. And we're going, huh. But it's like, okay, the rotisserie chicken's the same, the hot dog and the Coke is the same, but there's some other items that it's like, oh man, that used to be $7.99, now it's $9.99. What's up with that?
They only charge 2% if you're going to buy a $200 gold bar, though.
Well, the gold bars.
Only a 2% markup on a.
Have fun toting your gold bars around, people.
I think they sell for like $400 or something like that.
I thought it was like $2,500 an ounce.
It's an ounce.
Or something,
It's up to 24 something an ounce.
Yeah, I'm sticking to digital gold. I'm staying with my Bitcoin.
We shall see.
Yeah, we shall.
We shall. I guess. I have no idea what's going to go on.
Try to fly with gold bars. See if they don't pull you out of the line. Say, hey,
they take it. They just take it from you.
Exactly.
You can't fly with gold.
Right.
What are you doing with this gold? What are you doing with it, buddy?
Oh, I'm just taking it with me. It's mine. Oh well, where did you get?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'd fly with gold.
But
it doesn't. I mean, if you had 10 ounces of gold, that's not much, but that's $25,000.
Yeah,
like it's 10 ounces. What would that be? I don't know, but it'd be a very small amount. Like the gold brick would have. I mean, it's probably 50,000. So
yeah.
But I don't know why you need. The only way you travel with gold would be go to sell it. I would imagine.
Well, you got to store your wealth. That's your wealth. You got to take it with you. I don't know. It's a whole
trap. This is like a guy last night. He's went to the ATM, got out a bunch of money, and he stopped at Jersey Mike's. And he goes in, and the guy smashes his window because he was following him from the bank, taking all his money. He's like, I'm not getting a bunch of money out of the bank and leaving it in my console and going to get a sub.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's where people
I take it with me.
Well, yeah,
then you get jacked.
Then you get jacked there.
Then you just leave in your car.
Yeah, people get lackadaisical, man. It happens to the best of us because you want to have like, okay, I'm just running into a sub shop. What can go wrong?
Yeah,
be in there 2 minutes. What can happen here? And then I mean, dude, I don't even want to go anywhere. Like, I just. I think it's probably my algorithm that I'm looking at stuff and getting these videos. So I know it's partly to do with me, but every other video is just somebody getting knocked out or punched or shot, and I'm like, okay, I got to.
It's kind of fun, but
yeah, if it's not me or anybody I know or my loved ones, then great. But like, even today, I'm stopping at the store on the way here, and I'm going, I don't feel comfortable in this parking lot. I need to get out of here.
Where was that?
It was at the Winn-Dixie.
That's a pretty... Well, there's the homeless people are...
They were in full effect.
Are they in the full... Yeah, there's more homeless people up there now than ever.
It was interesting, to say the least. But either way, I'm going, they might be totally friendly, but either they're going to ask me for something.
Oh, no, I don't want anybody approaching me.
Right.
There was like a video like a year or so ago, this woman in a parking lot, and this guy was like approaching her, and she's like, get away. and she's like, stay. And people are like, calling her out. And it's like, I don't blame any woman if any dude is approaching you in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. I think about it differently now. Yeah, because you can think somebody's innocent or they're going to ask you a question, be like, hey, ma'am, how you doing? And then all of a sudden, boom.
Boom.
Like
I mean, they could just punch you in the face. Not just abduct you. They just walk up and punch you in the face because that's a thing now. It didn't used to be a thing.
Because it's trendy to do, and people post their videos of it.
And people shooting. Used to hear about. There's always been shootings and crime, but now, like, man, they just get out the guns and they just start. They just, you got videos of people. They just blast any. They don't care. Like down at the armature works.
Oh yes,
like a couple teenagers. They were getting a fight because somebody got water thrown on them, and the other teenager's older brother comes back and shoots the guy, and somebody gives him a gun. And he's shooting. They got a pregnant woman shot, and it's like there's no thought, like Ybor City. There's no thought about bystanders anymore. They're just gonna shoot. Like it's got some kind of gun culture where they're grown up. Just shoot. Don't worry about the consequences.
I would almost prefer it if it was like old school duel style, right? So the guy gets water thrown on him. He's pissed. His brother comes back to shoot the guy, right? That's kind of the idea of the story. And instead, like you said, a pregnant woman gets hit. She got shot twice. She's going to be all right. But still, that sucks, right?
Sucks.
So instead, what if we brought back the duel style of going, sir, you besmirched my brother's good name by throwing water on him, and I demand a duel. Do you think
you have to slap him with a white glove?
Slap him with a white glove. Do you think either one of these jits would go, yes, I will do that, and they'll take 12 paces or whatever and turn around with their gats and fire at one another? No, they both be like, I don't want to get shot. Let's just call this thing off.
Yeah, it's not happening. I never understood. It's like, how do you, there's a lot of cheaters out there. Like, instead of taking 10 spaces, he's going to take 8. He's going to turn around and blast you in the back.
That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Bam!
Yeah, little baby steps.
I wouldn't trust it. That's a crazy thing to do.
The duel?
You take 10 steps, turn around, face each other, and fire.
That is weird. And that was back in the day. That was single shot.
Single shot.
Right?
So if you missed... And then you just got to wait. That guy, he can take a lot of time.
Now, what if you both missed during the duel?
I guess you call it a day.
Is that just
I don't know.
Or do you go, all right, we running this back?
So what is it? 10 spaces, so that's 20 paces. What's a pace? About 2 feet.
Yeah.
So you're about 40 feet away. You could miss easy.
Yeah, and then what?
You get to reload real fast, man. I'd be fun. I might drop my bullet,
especially
my ball
with those guns and however those loading procedures were.
The powder, you got to do the powder. Yeah. That's like in the.
But if they brought back duels, gun crime would go down.
if
significantly.
Yeah, but those guys they're not honorable people. They would never do a duel. They're just dirtbags.
Well, I don't think either one of them would do a duel because, again, like you said, nobody would trust the other one to do it correctly. So therefore, both of them wouldn't have guns. They both walk away.
They'd immediately just, as soon as, all right, they both turn around and shoot each other point blank range is what would happen.
Or there's, again, great result.
Yeah, why would we say that all the time?
If you have two people that want to shoot each other and they both shoot each other and kill each other.
I mean, we watch the news, it's always like, oh, what a tragedy. They didn't kill him, It's like, it would be so much better if the cops just killed that guy and we didn't have to support him for or else he's just going to go do 5 years and then be out on the streets.
It's funny you say that. There was a story last week in the news here, or a couple days ago, and a guy was at a park. He was hanging out at a public park, and he had been caught trespassing there once before, or whatever, and and
I saw that.
They went to like talk to him and they pull him aside and go to arrest him, whatever. Anyways, I think they tased him. He ended up having a gun and got off a couple shots.
Yeah,
shot an officer
after he was tased. Yeah,
and he's still alive. He is the only suspect that I can think of in recent memory that the cops didn't riddle with bullets, especially
like 90 or 100 bullets. Just
unload the clip.
That's what they usually do.
And I don't know how he's still alive, because I thought it was always the rule of thumb, especially not only if they pull out a gun, shoots an officer. He is truly lucky to be alive.
He was a big guy. He was a decent sized guy, so they should have been able to riddle him full of bullets. I never figured that out. Like, you'll see these mass shooters, and they always seem to catch the mass shooters and never shoot them. It's like,
that's true. But and then what do? They take the mass shooter and they put a flak jacket over him, like a Kevlar vest, and make sure he's okay. Yeah, so he'd be nice and safe.
Okay. You don't want a civilian shooting this guy.
There is that brilliant video of the kid. There was a kid toucher back in the day, and the kid's dad was waiting in the airport for the guy.
Yeah, he's pretending to be on the phone.
Yep, and then he turns around and just caps him.
Good shot too, capped him right in the head.
So good.
I can't remember whether that guy got off or not. I think he might have.
He did.
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I think he got a good chance of getting off because they're like, I'm not sending this guy to jail. He murdered a pedophile who raped his son. I'm solidly no guilty on that jury.
I'm with you.
For sure.
Same.
We were talking about like the old time guns. It's like, I never understood how in the Revolutionary War, they got a guy playing drums and two guys holding flags, and they're just walking into they're walking in. It's like, who drew that short straw? Just walking into a hail of bullets with a flag and a drum. It's the worst job ever.
That is, because the drum guy is literally the first one, right?
I think he's right up there. Yeah.
And furthermore,
so much
for a sneak attack.
I think that's what we ended up doing. Is like that's how they used to wage wars. They'd all line up. All right, everybody's lined up and shoot each other like a duel. And then the U.S. started doing the more of the guerrilla warfare, and that's why we won.
Yeah, which I can understand
I can too.
The reasoning behind that.
All the drummers and flag guys went on strike. This is bullshit,
dude. Yeah, that is crazy. The old school ways of war. Now it's all going to be done with drones.
All with drones. And the Iron Dome.
Dun, dun,
99%. Do you think there was is that even true? Was it 90? They got 99%. How come you don't see one video of like people with their iPhones taking a picture of all this shit you see they show the one stock footage of the things in the sky in the distance. I don't know.
I don't know what I saw, but I mean, look, even if it got 70% of those things, that thing's pretty incredible.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I mean it's
right. Like, but I mean the fact
that you paid for it, buddy.
Hey, and again, Israel's fine. We like Israel.
We love Israel. Israel's number one. But America's number two. But in my book, Israel's number one.
Yeah. Number two in my heart, number one in my mind, or whatever. However that saying goes. But what's the likelihood? I mean, I know the U.S. obviously we've got extremely strong capabilities, right? But we don't have something called the Iron. Like their nickname for it is rad, man. The Iron Dome. It's just
Dome.
Like that's got to be the coolest nickname ever for any sort of like warfare technology. I don't.
But
What do we have?
We don't have any enemies like close enough.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
I mean, they're like surrounded. They're surrounded by they're a tiny country surrounded by on all sides by people that hate them. So they have to have an iron dome to exist.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've got Canada. Nice enough.
A bunch of pussies.
Why are they looked at as such bitches?
I don't know. I mean, look at Justin Trudeau. I mean,
he's a bitch. But
he's a bitch ass pussy.
But I don't think I thought that as far as like nations go, like Canada, like they will step up to the plate when it comes to, stepping up for their allies and stuff. They'll be like first in, so they're not bitches when it comes to military.
Yeah,
but why are they? They are looked at as bitches. I don't know why.
They were. Well, the governments, I don't know. I always thought I just moved to Canada. Things get bad here, and then you look at their response to COVID, the trucker strike, free speech. You're like, they're worse than us. And so was Australia. I thought Australia moved to Australia. They were the biggest pussies of all.
You know what we all need to do? Turn the tide on Mexico. Start sneaking in there.
That's what I think. Mexico's a place to be. Temperate climate.
Yeah.
Cheap cost of living.
Oh, my God. The housing, you could buy a little mud hut down there for an extremely fair rate.
Whatever drugs you want.
That's true. Mexico is truly the safe haven. What are we? Everybody, look, we'll just trade countries. Y'all can sneak over here. We'll sneak down there. We'll live in your hut. Won't have to pay property taxes.
And then we'll build a wall to keep them out of Mexico.
Aha. And then we'll make Mexico great again.
We'll make Mexico great again. We'll ruin Mexico. We'll make it worse than it was.
Yeah,
That's kind of what we do.
We do.
We're kind of a bunch of dicks. It's kind of coming out now that I think people are figuring out
that we're dicks.
We're a bunch of dicks. We said we don't have any guns anymore and ammo. We all send it all to Ukraine.
Yeah, what are we out of? We're out of some of the major, like out of javelins and like our stockpile's low.
We have no strategic petroleum reserve anymore. We've drained that. We've given all our money and ammunition to the Ukraine. Seems like, think if you were like China or Russia, you'd be going, this is probably, and then you look at the leader, what's going on? That means something. It means if you're looking at Russia and if Putin was drooling and wandering around off stage, we're like, well, we don't have a lot to worry about Russia, do we?
Unless we do have another strategic arsenal that we just don't tell people about.
Full of, at Area 51, full of weapons that nobody could do anything about.
Well, you know what's fascinating is during COVID, I just never really thought about a strategic reserve. It was never something that was front of mind to me, right? As just an American going about my daily.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we have this, America has this, blah, blah, blah. And then when COVID happened, and not even from an oil perspective of strategic reserves, they're like, we've got warehouses of whether it was masks or whatever it was, right? All those little products, and they go, we're going to pull them out of the strategic reserve. And I'm like, oh shit, we have like as a country, we just got like a giant Amazon warehouse of just stuff. Like I never even thought about it.
They got it's all for the politicians. That's the strategic reserve.
That's true too. But I was pretty. I don't know. I never thought about it until they brought it up.
The way things go, though, you're like, well, let's dig into the strategic reserves, and what the politicians that sold those years ago, we got nothing. That's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
You can't trust those guys.
No. I'm more worried about the debt than anything, though. I'm more than
debt schmet.
I know, right?
That's what they say. They say debt schmet. Don't worry about it.
But all these other
don't worry about it.
All these other little issues, dude. Like compared to the national debt, it's all nothing. It's all nothing. The debt is like the biggest. That should be the only worry that anybody really, puts their mind on. I mean, immigration. Okay, there's argument to be made there. That one kind of bothers me too. But the national debt,
$34 trillion, and now to service the debt, which is just to pay the interest every year, it's $1 trillion now. Every year we have to pay $1 trillion just because we were so foolish to spend all that. Well, this all got stolen. They raped. Talk about a raping.
Raped and pillaged the entire country.
$35 trillion worth. It's not even fathomable. See, they got you jaded. First they jaded you to billions. nobody even really thought about billions, 20 years ago. Who's a billion? Like a billionaire might have $1 billion, $2 billion. Then now the billionaires have $200 billion. And now they got you jaded to trillions. Oh, this is $1 trillion. Here's $1 trillion stimulus. Here's 35 trillion. If people could see $1 trillion, and if you line up $35 trillion, it probably goes to the sun or something. I mean, it's like a ridiculous amount of money. And you're jaded to it. You're like, oh, it's $1 trillion. Like you don't need it. They like to do the. You would have to count for 10,000 years to count to $1 trillion.
I can't see anybody that just goes like it's all other stuff, right? Whether you're pro Trump, anti Trump, whatever. Like he's got all these court cases going on and blah blah blah. Biden's pooping his pants somewhere. Like, but I just want somebody with a plan to say, hey, you guys do realize we are like beyond broke, right? We are. Like we're destitute. We're homeless as a country if you're $34 trillion in debt and you have like if you owned or if you had this property, right, and you didn't pay the bank on it, they're coming and booting you the fuck out of your house. They're taking your home from you, right?
Yep.
I mean, do we not see as a country how important the national debt is and how crazy it is that nobody seems to really give a crap about it?
Well, who's talking about that?
Nobody.
Like I'm talking about politics and news-wise. Nobody, right?
It's all other stuff.
And that's why.
And that's really what matters.
What matters is the solar eclipse and the Ukraine and Israel and all this other stuff to distract you from the fact that they stole every penny that they ever got. And you're not going to get Social Security, and the nation's going to turn into a shithole because, or the dollar's going to lose its reserve status. Which is why we are where we are in this world, because we're a worthless. Basically, our debt is worthless. Who's going to buy our debt?
34
trillion.
$1 trillion in interest. I mean, it's so beyond ridiculous, and.
What are you going to do? Vote? You're going to vote for a couple 80-year-old men. That's what you're going to do.
And I'm having to watch a court case about hush money, and then
it's just,
Biden's giving fluff speeches in Pennsylvania. I'm just like, what's going on?
Now, if I'm sure. Like I assume that most presidents have had affairs, because most presidents are giant, huge egomaniacs. Nobody wants to be president unless you're like a total lunatic. You want to. I must be the most powerful man in the world. Those guys are never faithful to their wives. They've been. You imagine like Bill Clinton, 8 years. For 8 years, you can't cheat on your wife. Do you think that's a thing? No, it's not a thing. They got underground tunnels. They're bringing prostitutes and then dumping them in the landfill or something. The presidents are cheating. So why is it so big of a deal that Donald Trump? Had an NDA with some porn star. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? They all do it.
And she yipped up anyways. God damn it.
Yipped up. We should sue her. Sue her for everything she's worth. I got the most comments on something I put on Twitter. From I replied to somebody. It was like Scott Adams. He's the Dilbert creator.
Okay.
And I follow him. And he's talking about Trump. And it's like, and then they gave Stormy a gag order or something. And I was like, oh, I said, Stormy doesn't gag. And everybody loved that one. Boy, I was yes, you can't gag Stormy. They love that one. And 100 people go,
that's great stuff.
And the only reason, you gotta get in early. I was the third comment.
Oh.
See, that's what it is. Because I never comment, because I always see 1,700 people have already commented.
Then you're just getting lost in the fold.
Nobody's going to listen to that shit. It's a dirty game. Social media is a dirty game.
Sure is.
It fucking sucks ass.
Yeah,
See that guy in Dubai who got a year in prison? For filming.
What'd he do?
It was either a guy or a girl. I don't know. It was neon with a backwards 3 instead of an E. I don't know what that means. I don't know who it was. But Neon, the influencer, was in Dubai. I don't know if it was a girl or guy. And they're filming. And you got to have a permit to film in Dubai. Those guys up. Those places are real uptight over there.
Maybe that's why we're not seeing much footage of the rainstorms over there.
Maybe not. They're real uptight, and so they were like, "No, you can't film here." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I'm an American. You can't film here. I'm an American." And then all of a sudden he's like, "USA, USA." He's doing 1 year in jail in Dubai now. So imagine you think you're a hotshot influencer on YouTube in America. Now how hotshot are you in a Dubai prison for a year?
Yeah,
I bet they're not going to treat you so nice either.
That's brutal. Well, as I mentioned before, I had a buddy go over there, and he spent some time, and I was like super curious of how strict it was, and all that stuff. And he said it was beautiful and lovely, and no issues and no problems because everybody respects the rule of law over there.
If you're
so much,
if you're cool and don't be an asshole.
And then there was a DJ. I think his name was like DJ Groove Rider or something like this. This was years back, and he went over there and. With some ecstasy pills.
And now he's doing life.
Bro, I think he did, for real, I think he got sentenced like something like 15 or 30 years or something like that for like 10 pills. And
they don't mess around. I mean, Paul McCartney almost got put in jail for bringing like a bag of weed to Japan. It's like these countries don't mess around with their drug laws.
So does that mean, like in Dubai, you just can't find any weed?
I don't know.
You can't find any pill? Like, is nobody over there getting high?
That would like if we were doing a Bubba-palooza in Dubai,
we'd be arrested. We'd still be in Dubai.
Well, the great thing about Bubba-paloozas was you never had to bring weed.
Yeah,
ever, because our listeners were just like you'd be in line with a meet and greet, and they'd be just they just put out their hand like you're like to shake it or something. And I see what he's giving me something. Oh, thank you very much. And by the end of the day, you had like 17 joints. Everybody, like every single station had 17 joints.
Yeah.
And you never really thought he just smoked it. You never thought somebody's trying to lace it or anything. He just smoked it right out.
Think about the negative things that could have happened.
Free weed. Oh, it was glorious. Like, so, going to Canada, you're like, well, I ain't taking weed into Canada. No way. But we got pictures of the weed that we had in the hotel room. Like, just.
Well, it was interesting even going out to eat that afternoon. We went to a restaurant or something like that, and you could smell weed just outdoors, and there was people smoking weed. I guess it was, and this is before it was like.
Oh, this was, how many years ago was that?
Yeah, this is before it was like
15 years ago?
Legal or acceptable anywhere in any of the old 50 nifty. But up there, and it was such a departure from the norm. I'm going, hold on, they're over there smoking weed. Like, you can see them. Like, you can smell it. You can see it. Like, this is what they're doing. And that made me think Canada was pretty cool. I'm going, well, this is great. They've got great freedoms. And then you fast forward, it's like,
I think it's pre-Trudeau.
Pre-Trudeau. Now he's made them a bunch of bitches again.
Because we went out, like the first thing we did, you get to go to the airport, then you get to go to the hotel, and there's people at the hotel. Like, as soon as we walked in, there was people, wanting to meet us and everything. And they go, hey, you want to go outside and smoke? And we're like, well, it's a pretty busy street out there. And they're like, it's Canada. Don't worry about it. So we're just out there smoking. It's pretty awesome. And the guy, remember the guy? He met us at the airport, and then he'd got everybody's room had a cooler of Pabst Blue Ribbon in it. And I was like, what, did they just let this guy into our hotel room? I mean, it's pretty cool that I got a cooler in here full of Pabst Blue Ribbon, but you just let any Tom, Dick, and Harry come into our room and stock it up?
Do you feel guilty? Like, I don't know what the, I guess if you got your medical marijuana card, that's no big deal. But for some reason, I can't get past the thought of if I were going to smoke marijuana, like out on the streets or whatever, it feels
sordid.
It feels
dirty.
Illegal to me. Still, like it hasn't gotten through my head. And I also don't want, look, if I was going to do it out on the street, I wouldn't want to do it around kids or anything like that, right? I don't know. It just seems wrong to me, but I still can't for the life of me wrap my head around it being fine.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like I'm okay with it, but it makes me nervous.
You've been, because your whole life, even
totally conditioned.
Even when you're just conditioned. Even if you're smoking, as a person, you think it's fine for you, but you've been conditioned to how bad it is and how wrong it is and how this.
You're hiding it.
And I'm drinking a beer around my kids. It doesn't even give me a second thought, But that I'm like, well, I gotta go out back and smoke.
Yeah.
Hey, B. You got to make a big deal out of it. When we're all sitting around getting drunk.
Yep.
The kids, nobody cares about that.
And the kids don't care about the teenage, like if you're 18 or whatever, you get your medical marijuana card. Like they don't give a damn. You can go into any one of these Wawas or Circle K's or 7-Elevens, and every kid in there is high. Every customer, I mean, you can smell it on everybody. It's everywhere.
They have been.
But they're not conditioned.
They're not conditioned.
It's a weird thing.
I mean, for my whole life, we always had I didn't promote marijuana or anything to my kids, but I was like, hey, it's just a plant. I don't know why they make such a big deal about it. I never, demonized it. And then I remember Berlin, she finally figured out that, that I smoked when she was like 14 or 15. And she didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks.
Oh, man. Did you have the conversation?
No, I didn't. She just found out, and she was giving me the cold shoulder. And I was like, man, it's not that big of a deal. And I was like, well, she can give me the cold shoulder because I ain't going to stop smoking weed. And then she got over it.
You're good now.
Oh, she's totally good now. It ain't no big deal. Get over it.
Weed or a relationship with your daughter?
See, I was just like 6 months prior to that. I'd taken her. Donna couldn't make it. She had some kind of something with a flower shop. So I took her to Lakeland for a tournament. I was like, well, it's just going to be me and Berlin in the hotel room, with nothing to do. So I was like, I brought a board game. And so then I was like, oh, Berlin, I got to get something out of the car. We got really high. We had the time of our lives playing board games. It's a great it's great for family fun.
Great family entertainment.
Great for family fun.
Oh, that's funny. That is, yeah.
All right, let's take a break. It's
Sure.
already been an hour. My God, I got to freshen up my drink.
Oh, want to do a chit chat Q&A when we come back? Maybe?
Oh, yeah. We actually, I thought we did a pretty good job last time.
I thought we tried at least
answering some questions. The questions usually lead to a lot of tangents because when you get start talking about something that was our life for 20 years.
Yeah.
It opens up doors. You just start.
It unzips you.
It unzips you.
Well, if there's somebody that has anything interesting, we'll take a look.
Find Ned. Okay, let me give a little Ned man for Mad, and we'll be right back with more of The Hang. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof when I saw red and blue lights. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof, was trying to hide my meth pipe. Sirens filled the night. I took off my shirt cause I was looking for a fight. Lawman's coming, so I started fucking running like a white trash maniac. I'm a punk, I was drunk, had a real big fucking blunt, and I flushed down all my crack. I'm a loafer and a poser, maybe I'm a stoner, I had a nervous breakdown. I won't listen to reason, a heathen who's thieving, and I probably need bailed out. I got 2 or 3 teeth in my mouth, and then the sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof when I saw red and blue lights. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof, was trying to hide my meth pipe. Sirens filled the night. I took off my shirt cause I was looking for a fight. Sirens filled the night. Some Navajo stripper with a face full of blisters told me I was a disgrace. She tried to charge me $10 for a hand job, and I laughed right in her face. A gold cop car was banging on my window outside of my single wide. He said my mouth was kind of purty and my back was really sturdy. He laughed and then he unzipped his fly. The night. Climbed up on the roof when I saw red and blue lights. Sirens filled the night. Pats me down, puts me in a cop car, and then we pulled off in the night. And then we pulled off through the night. Extended noodling. Get your groove on. Smoke them if you got them. Man, you noodles so good. Let's bring it home, bitch. Let's bring it home, I said. Hey, mama, I just got busted. Hey, mama, I just got busted. Mama always told me not to talk shit while I was stuffed and cuffed. But mama, he's throwing punches. There's some chopsticks. Oh, God. Some full-blown keystone and adrenochrome copter-bone pulled in with the chief. Since he lost one chromosome, you must have got that Down syndrome and the dogs just sniffed their hashish. Yes, some popo commando was beating me like Jericho, kicking my poor backside. And then Officer McGurdy said, you best call your attorney. They cuffed me and I went for a ride. Filled the night. Climbed up on the roof when I saw red and blue lights. Sirens filled the night. I took off my shirt cause I was looking for a fight. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof, was trying to hide my meth pipe. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof when I saw red and blue lights. Sirens filled the night. I took off my shirt cause I was looking for a fight. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof, was trying to hide my meth pipe. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof when I saw red and blue lights. Sirens filled the night. I took my shirt off cause I was looking for a fight. Sirens filled the night. Climbed up on the roof when I was trying to hide my pipe. Sirens filled the night. I jumped out and I never got caught. I ran naked through the night. Oh, God. Welcome back to the hang. Nez Navy says, get your questions ready to not be read.
Hey.
We read them last week. I don't see any questions, though.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't see any questions.
We'll move on and
Okay.
we'll talk about how you were not respecting my sobriety by smoking weed in here. You see that Steve-O story with Bill Maher?
Yeah.
Mike, my sobriety is extremely important to me.
Yeah. I mean, I can see both sides.
I do too, actually.
But also, I'm like, if that's like, if like my podcast is I like to get high and talk to people, and you don't want me to get high, well, then I guess you can't be on my podcast. I can kind of see it. He seems like a real douche, Bill Maher, but I kind of get that.
I do too. He definitely seems pompous.
I mean, Steve-O.
Yeah, you could just get another guest.
A way better guest, probably.
Yeah, I mean, although I like Steve-O's podcast. His stuff
I can't
is
take
good.
that voice. It's hard to take.
Yeah.
But Bill Maher is kind of pompous. He's kind of pompous. Sometimes he's funny. It's so weird though to hear him to like now. It's like some of the stuff he says is like straight out of the right wing now. Like when it comes to the woke stuff, he's really anti-woke because that's his livelihood, and he don't want people telling him what to say.
Right.
But on everything else, he still totally doesn't get it. That the left is totally good, except for him, the woke. He hates the wokeism. It's like,
well, again, everybody's a hypocrite.
Everybody's a hypocrite.
Everybody.
It's the levels of hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's just where are you a hypocrite at? Like what's the trigger for you for being a hypocrite? And for him, it's that. It's
probably a lot.
Woke is bad.
Probably
everything.
a lot more.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
See, I consider myself to be a very minor hypocrite, and I'm very proud of that.
Yes, manageable hypocrisy.
I manage. That's all I'm asking for. Like, if you are like, the leader of a country, I think you should get some perks. I got no problem with perks. Like, there was somebody.
Heavy's the crown, man. Yeah.
Exactly. Here, you deserve. Like, there was some leader, and he like helicoptered into some event or something, and it's like, well, if I'm the president, I'm gonna want. You think I'm gonna wait in line to go see the Super Bowl? You think I'm gonna sit in traffic? No, I'm gonna helicopter in. That's why I'm president. And then you voted for me, so see, I don't have a problem with that. There should be, but they just take everything. They just use their office to become, millionaires at our expense, and that's not right. That's not a perk.
It's true. I was looking at some rich guy. They had a video of him, and he takes his private helicopter to his private jet and gets on it. But it wasn't like a far distance or something like that. Like the car could have like dropped him off at the private jet. Instead, the car like dropped him off at his helicopter, and then he took the helicopter to his jet, and everybody's like, look at this dick bag.
Yep.
And I'm going, yeah, it is. But at the same time, I mean, he's an older guy. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird because, you look at it, you immediately go, what a douchebag. And then I kind of go, oh, that's kind of pimp. But then at the end of it, I still land on, what a douchebag. But it's kind of pimp.
Plus, ask Kobe how that works out for you. Taking that helicopter all the time. So, that's not like a plane.
Man,
not many people survive helicopter crashes.
No, every time I go to Orlando, they've got those like sightseeing tours. You can go up in a helicopter for like 20 minutes and then fly over Orlando or whatever. And I'm going, I want to do that, but I don't have it in me. I ain't got the stones for it, man.
Plus, those helicopters, I mean, they're used, 12 hours a day. Flying around.
Yeah, 15 minutes at a time.
And you don't know who owns that place. You don't know if they're cutting corners or anything, or they keep it top notch. You don't know.
No clue.
Plus the odds of a helicopter crashing after that many hours, I think. So I ain't doing that.
No, I ain't doing that.
I was on a helicopter once. It was I was at the Power Pig, and this is like my first year or two there. So it wasn't high in the echelon at all. And so Mark Chase goes, hey, Buckwheat, we're going over to the dealership, and they got a helicopter going to fly us to the dealership. You want to go? And I was like, sure. The boss wants you to take a helicopter ride. You take a helicopter ride,
Yeah.
Anything to get him, hey, I'm with the boss riding a helicopter.
I did one of those planes, the Red Baron planes.
Oh my God!
Like the actual Red Baron. They had the Red Baron.
The biplane.
The biplanes,
The
yeah.
biplane.
But it actually was a Red Baron. They had like a team of like 5 that had, it was all wrapped in Red Baron.
It had the black
the whole
insignia
thing
on it.
Yeah, and in the open cockpit, the whole thing. Yeah, those biplanes.
Cockpit.
That was a little.
You open cockpitted it?
Yeah.
That seems like way worse than a helicopter.
I didn't know what same kind of thing. Hey, you got to go do this. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was surprisingly calm up there. It was,
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, this is all right. But helicopter, not so much.
You'd rather wing walk.
I'd rather
be on a helicopter.
Wing walk. I don't know how air shows are still legal, by the way, or not legal, happening.
Not legal.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around how we're taking these taxpayer dollars and doing joyrides across the country.
And then, at least once every year or two, one of them planes wipes out about 17 people.
Yep. It seems so odd to me how they're like, bringing it back again next year. And it's cool.
It is cool.
But from we're 34 trillion in debt, right? You do know this, and we're out there having fucking sun and fun flyaways, and
I don't
know.
I just saw something today. I almost grabbed it. It was a congressman, and he was holding up a bag of what looked like about 80 lead fishing lures, but they were something else. They were ball bearings or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, guess how much the Pentagon pays for this bag?
Oh, no.
And it was $90,000. So people are, think, well, the government spent $74 trillion. No, they've stolen it. Somebody's stealing it. Then you don't charge, you don't pay $90,000 for it for nothing. You do it because you're getting paid and you're stealing all that money. Somebody's getting that money, and whoever's getting it is giving you a kickback. And that's how it works. So everything is like that. When they say, well, we're going to rebuild that bridge and it's going to cost $1.5 billion. No, it's not. It's going to cost $400 million and you're going to steal $1.1 billion. And that's how it fucking works.
See, and that sucks because I know if I was going to be a politician and I knew we were 34 trillion in debt, I would be the fun police. I would really honestly be the fun police. I'd be like, look, guys, all this stuff, we're not having any fun, guys. I'm sorry. We're not going to do anything cool until we pay off the debt.
Time to tighten the bootstraps.
Right. But nobody operates like that. But I would feel like, how are you just, you can't do this. You president, you can't you know what it costs to have you travel from point A to point B in the caravan, the expenses and Air Force Ones and all. Like, hey,
it's obscene.
No fun. It's obscene. And
hang on a second. Hang on a second. What? Yeah. Senator Matt Lloyd. What? Okay, send the CIA to his house tonight. Yeah. He was saying stuff about changing the government. It's like we tried talking to him, and he's like, no, no. He said no fun. I was like, well, yeah. So yeah, he'll be done tonight. All right. See, and you're done.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I mean, unfortunately, that's how it works. So I don't think anybody could get in there and ever do anything.
You walk in your house and they go, "Would you like some coffee?"
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And you just get chills.
Uh-oh.
And you're like, all right, time to toe the line.
Yep.
And you see, most people that get into politics nowadays, you can tell they're obviously charlatans, and because who wants to get in on that game? It's obviously the con game, so it's nothing but crooks. So there's no hope of anybody even trying to change something. And a guy who tries to say something, the party will spend, whatever it takes to beat you in the primary.
True.
Your opponent, John Jones, they'll buy 1 million John Jones signs, and the reason people vote is they go, I saw a sign that said Jones, so I voted for him. So that's how it works.
Is anybody in chat anything cool popping up by chance or not? If not, it's fine. I just didn't want to forget about it.
Well, good for you, because I already forgot about it.
All right. Well, hey,
Like 1 or 2 kids. I'm looking. Get your. Oh, that's okay. I got to move up a little. Can we get any more questions unanswered tonight? Well, I'm looking for questions. How did how is it that how did Trace get the anal splinter?
I didn't know about this. Your son has a anal splinter?
I see. I can't even remember how he got. How'd Trace get the anal splinter? It was on a bench or something, wasn't it?
He scooted on a bench.
How did it get in his? It like go through his shorts? Yeah.
How hard did he scoot?
Okay, scooted pretty hard.
Is he rubbing back and forth?
Well, he's got that bad knee, so he probably, He probably just scooted. He probably just scooted, and it was a splintery bench. Got a splinter in his rectum.
But his cheeks would have had to been spread out on top of it, right? In order to get the splinter in the anus.
No, you see, it's a sideways splinter.
Okay.
So as you go, it's like the shaving commercial.
Oh, it's like shimmying up there.
It's like the shaving commercial. The first layer peels back.
Is he okay?
Oh yeah, I was just saying it was really embarrassing because his girlfriend had to pull the splinter out. It was.
Oh.
And she had to go, like it was in his beehole.
Oh.
So she had to like get it in there and say, I need to, she had to like, I got to spread it a little more. That's
pretty,
yeah. Rough.
That's pretty emasculating.
It's pretty rough.
Unless you're into that kind of thing, then it's, I guess everything's fine.
I mean, if you had something in your rectum that you were very suspicious about, do you just go directly to the doctor, or do you go, honey, do I need to go to the doctor over this?
No, you got to go to the loved one first. Yeah. There's no sense in going to the hospital.
What do you think?
A $20,000 bill over a splinter. But that splinter would still be there.
No, I'm saying like you something you don't know. It could be serious. You got kind of a mystery thing in your rectum. You just go to the doctor. You go, honey, what is this?
I'm going to the loved one.
And how many years do you have to be with somebody before you do that? You think?
For me, it was 5. I've had to have things checked out.
I've tried. I don't know if I've ever have. I might have, but I don't think I have.
Just the way it goes,
I mean,
it's just a human body. It's just a body.
My wife, said, "Can you look at this thing in my butt?" I'd be all right. Yeah, let me look.
No big deal. I got a question for anybody in chat. And I'm curious if it's so I opened up a credit card. Okay.
Yeah.
I bought this thing at Best Buy, and they were like, "Oh, it's hey, if you open a Best Buy card, I think it's like 12 months or 24 months interest-free financing or something like that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't use credit cards I just don't. I never have. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. Yeah, it was not my thing. And I know I wouldn't be very good with it, right? Like, I tried it one other time and
it's tempting.
Yeah, it's just so I don't use credit cards. But this, I go, oh, all right, I can get this, and all right, as long as I make my payments on time and time it out, is where I'm paying $50 a month or $70 a month, and then I'll never pay interest on this, and I don't have to pay for this today. Like, no money came out of my bank account. I'm like, and the products at my house. I'm understanding the glory of credit now and the allure of it, right? I'm understanding why it would be a problem. My question for anybody in chat is, if they're in credit card debt, how much credit card debt are they in? And I don't even know if people would answer that. I don't know if that's a personal question or too personal. I just don't know how it works. For me, again, I've only had this card open for a couple days. I already want to pay it off, close it, and cut it up because it makes me a nervous wreck owing money on it, right? It's just, not my thing. But I think the majority of Americans, it is their thing.
I think it is.
But I don't know what that looks like to the average person, to just somebody.
It would be fascinating to know the average credit card balance in America right now.
That's what I mean. And you hear, I've heard some stuff on the news before, but I don't.
Credit spending is at an all-time high.
Yep.
Because inflation, so people are, they're just, what do you do? See, people are used to living, pretty decent, and they don't want, and in this superficial world of social media, you don't want to all of a sudden not have any cool.
Yeah, you got to
pictures.
flex.
So you got to flex. So they're just still flexing on the credit cards. Yeah, because you can.
And what's the interest rate on something? Like, again,
It's 20,
I opened this
20
one
something
up.
percent, some 29%, 26%.
I opened this one up because it said no.
Yeah.
No, and that's the only reason. But I don't even know what it is if I don't pay it off in time. Then I'm going to accrue whatever, so God knows what it's going to be. But 20-something% is the average? That's insane.
It's insane. It's like loan sharking.
So does it?
It's pretty much all it is.
Here's money. You got to pay us 26%, though, or we'll break your legs.
And I guess the credit card companies, they're just hedging their bets that you're not going to pay because they'll have these 0% interest cards, and they're betting. Yeah, they're just betting that
they're usually right.
That you're not going to be able to pull this off,
Yeah.
and they will be able to tack on a crazy amount.
There's no way they would do it unless they knew
that is loan sharking.
That it worked. It's loan sharking.
At 20% or more, I know loan sharks that lend out money for less than that.
And then you just get in the cycle of you pay the minimum because, you can't afford to pay much more, and it just never goes away.
Ever.
Unless you, become way successful. I think the average person just digging themselves a hole that they'll have to just never get out of.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I've
average. They're not going to tell you. I don't think you could find
average person credit card debt. Is that the best way to?
I think so.
Put it here. All right, let's see. Average person. I'm not getting much of a signal. Or they really don't want to tell me.
I can do it.
Okay, here we go. It says $5,733 per card holder.
How much?
$5,733.
Yeah. Who says that? Who says it?
Google.
Yeah.
Okay, so average credit card balance by generation. Millennials are at 6,500.
Mm-hmm.
Generation X, good old Gen X, 9,100.
Mm-hmm.
Baby boomers, 6,600. And the silent generation, what would that be? What the Charlie Chaplin, the 20s? The silent generation's not alive anymore, are they?
Baby boomers are like what? I mean, in their 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't even know what a baby boomer, but what's over that? A silent generation. Because they're dead, like you said, they're dead.
Yeah, they're not saying shit.
Well, silent generation.
Well, they still owe $3,400 on average.
Silent generation.
Shh, don't
I want to be part of that generation.
Yeah, shh. Everybody's too loud.
So the most was what? Gen Z?
No, yeah. No, Gen X.
Gen X.
Gen X with 9,100.
9,100.
And that's, yeah.
I see. When are those figures from?
Google.
No, but I mean.
No, but that's also probably not counting like student debt or anything because that doesn't count as credit card debt. That's student debt. So that, So I forgot what I was going to say. First time. Did anybody give up their credit card debt?
No,
they
did not. No, they did not.
Unbelievable.
I looked.
I guess that is a personal thing.
That's
Manson
is best. Subscribe for 23 months though. So thank you very much, Manson is best. I'm looking. I didn't see one of them. Yeah.
It's pretty. That's my bad. It's probably
that's how you nobody's going to tell you that people on social media, they don't want to pay. Hey, why don't they used to do this and that and have this. They don't want to say, well, I ran my credit card up to 30,000 and I can't. Now I'm just minimum balance for the rest of my life and I can't get another credit card. So people don't like to say that. So
Dude,
you don't know.
Yeah, it's fun. I was watching a Method Man from Wu-Tang Clan. He was doing an interview a couple weeks back and he was talking about these new musicians, these artists. And he's like, for the life of me, to summarize it, he's like, I don't know how they're making all this money. He goes, even if you had, whatever you had going on in the streets and you had your reputation, whatever you do, before music, when you get into music, he goes, I know what I have. I know what I've made. He goes, I don't even have a car. He goes, my wife has a car, a nice car. He goes, but I don't really have a daily driver car. He goes, I don't know how these people are taking private jets and doing all this stuff. He goes, nobody listens to their records. He's like, and that's not, he's basically, that's not slamming them. It's not talking bad. It's just like, how are these musicians, and he's right, because you see all these music, like they're loaded with these mansions, everything. And even, you can't even put that on a credit card debt if you wanted to. You can only do so much. So I'm mystified how these young rappers are doing it also. I can't figure it out.
I was going to say, like, for like pop and rock, it's like touring. You can make shit, that's how they make all their money, is because, like Spotify ain't paying shit.
Right, but even then, even touring, you still, I mean, you're not making a great deal of money unless you're a high-profile
headliner,
talent.
who's selling out arenas.
But the rappers, the lowest level rapper will still have these cars and mansions and flying private. And it's like, how is that? What are we missing here?
The government is paying them to dumb down America. I figured it out.
They're plants?
They're dumb. I mean, because it's moronic. I mean, the rap world is moronic now. I mean, have you seen, like, there's some kind of rap battle going on between Drake and Kendrick Lamar that I don't really want to follow, but I see it so much. And
they're forcing you to get involved.
Oh, I actually replied a couple times.
But the 34 trillion we're not paying any attention to. But that goddamn rap beef.
Because like somebody will give a couple lines from a diss track from one of these guys, and I'm like, these grown men, and you think that is some kind of like real put down with your third grade rhymes. It's like embarrassing. And I it's like, I just find it hard to believe, like, oh, it's fire. It's like, these are grown men.
It's sad that I know about this beef too, because I do. And I also know that in the hip hop world, apparently there is an acceptable amount of time that you have to respond. And if you don't respond within that amount of time, you're a bitch. Is kind of the way it goes. Like you've got 48 hours to respond to this diss track, and if you don't diss me back within 48 hours, you's a bitch. Like, it's something along those lines.
So juvenile.
It's very strange.
It's like so elementary school. J. Cole was involved, I thought, and he bitched out and apologized from what I heard.
You're exactly right, Mike. A word on the street. The Matt Street Report says that you're right. J. Cole did kind of, he apologized for taking part in the beef and has subsequently decided to tap out of this. He will no longer be a part of the rap beefs.
So he's a grown man now. He grew up.
Yes. He decided to put on his big boy pants and no longer respond. That is the word on the streets. But
I was trying to figure out what that name was. It the word on the street?
Oh, I don't. Oh,
because I know I got it somewhere, but I couldn't.
Is it Street Report? I don't even know.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Oh well, it's here somewhere. I'll find it some other time.
Yeah,
Street Report.
The next Street Report we have.
Damn it. Oh well, it's there somewhere.
But for real, I'm mystified for the life of me because rock artists are starving.
Beef? Oh, okay.
No, not even the beef.
Oh,
but
I mean,
like,
well, who's the who's the new rock artist that you could name that would be a household name?
Dude, you could go with a household name of rock artist that's been around 20 years and they're not doing great, and they've been doing it for 20 years. Selling records consistently.
Yeah,
like, they're okay, but they're not. They're not 3 hits on YouTube. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like it's very strange.
Well, I mean, now the record industry, the people who are in it are going to be like Blockbuster. They didn't figure out how to make money in the new world where people don't, go out and buy your album anymore. That was, people, you sell millions of albums. Nobody's buying an album anymore.
Well, it was like, I go back to, there are diversified streams of income now. There didn't used to be. It was just like music and touring. And then all of a sudden, like, these endorsements came along. Then all of a sudden, like, everybody said, oh, well, wait a second. Forget that. I'll just make my own product or put my name on the product or, do it that way. So you had like the P. Diddy, Cirocs of the world and the Jay-Z's, all these
Well, everybody's got a vodka.
Right.
Or a tequila.
Yeah, I don't know who owns Svedka, but that's the rapper we're drinking tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Gervais has a vodka. They all like Dan Aykroyd, Jesse James Dupree. Everybody has.
Michael Jordan's got Sincoro tequila.
I need a bourbon.
Oh, we could. Yes.
The Hang bourbon.
Ooh.
And it's just us.
Limited edition bottles?
It's us in smoking jackets and the long cigarette things. And we've got the Hang bourbon.
Yes.
Oh, I mean.
Yes.
So,
I love it.
I don't even want the people in the chat to tell me who's buying the Hang bourbon. I mean, it'd be inundated and we wouldn't get
small
anything
batch.
done.
Just a small batch.
There's some kind of
very exclusive,
limited something.
That's right.
Some kind of exclusive.
That's right. You can. Oh, and we'll sell it for $200, and you can drop the deuce. Drop the deuce on the Hang bourbon.
See the concept is so good. I think people would buy it. The whole thing.
Did you drop the deuce?
Did you drop the deuce? Did you drop the deuce? Oh, you didn't drop the deuce? I'm surprised because I know a few people. I know Ned's Navy dropped the deuce, and Kevin J.K. dropped the deuce, and they're way cooler than you.
Who would drop the deuce?
For the Hang bourbon.
Oh man,
the private label.
Yes.
Private label.
Label.
Which means that we go to the store and get some Jack Daniels bottles, we pull off the label,
Yep.
and we slap one of ours on.
Yep. or we take the old stuff around our house and we marry the bottles together, label it up, and
we'll find a really cool bunch of bottles, and then we'll put that's what it's going to be. No, it'll be
highest quality,
aged, and we'll be involved in the sniffing and the drinking process.
Yeah, we'll do the whole thing,
the whole deal.
Yeah. All you have to do is drop the deuce.
That's the best slogan ever.
So good.
Drop the deuce. I think
and then we'll go buy a racetrack.
I'm out.
Oh my God.
Drop the deuce. I'm apoplectic. It's like that's such a good idea.
That is such a good word.
Idea.
What is that word? Apoplectic.
Just means
I haven't heard that one.
Just befuddled beyond belief.
That's fantastic. Apoplectic.
Yeah, it does.
You got a word of the day thing going on?
Good. I'm not much of a braggart, but I have an excellent vocabulary.
You do. You do. You really do.
When I was younger, I was really into reading. And I read a shit ton of books, and that's how you get a good vocabulary, because you get to read a bunch of words you don't know. And I ain't got no time to read no more, but I read a shit ton of books.
I was reading Choose Your Adventure. So the words weren't too crazy for me. It was like, if you want to go to the woods, turn to page 76. If you want to go to the city, turn to page 74.
But, some kids like reading and some kids don't.
Yeah.
And, even though I loved reading, but like over the summer, like they could always give you like three fucking books to read.
Assignments over the summer, right?
3 novels, like 200 to 300 pages long, and you're like,
insanity.
It's summer. I want to stay up till 2:00 in the morning and watch TV, and I'm not going to do any reading afterwards. Fuck you. And I never read any of them ever.
And they didn't really check you on it the next year. They forgot about it too.
You had to write a paper on it or something. But I think they just kind of knew, because you always got decent grades, and I never had a good one of those.
Now you can just chat GPT it, call it a day.
Can you imagine?
So easy.
If you're in elementary school, your parents could chat GPT all your homework, and the teacher's not going to check.
Because the teachers, honestly, what do they care? Like, and if you're a 4th grade teacher, what do you really care? Even and furthermore, I will tell you this: if you're a high school teacher and you're teaching seniors, and the senior has to pass this class in order to go to college or get a scholarship or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you're the teacher that goes, just don't see it happening. You got you missed 2 questions here. Like, really, teacher? Really, you're not gonna?
Well, I'm sure there's teachers that are like that.
There are.
And there's some great teachers out there, but some teachers are on a power trip.
Yeah, like don't take it so seriously. They're almost out of here. You're going to ruin that.
Off on it. Yeah, the guy's like, come on. He's like, no.
Yeah, you're going to ruin that kid's potential scholarship a full ride because he missed 2 questions on your.
And just think, like everything, real life, it's not the way it's supposed to be. If you're a teacher and you've got, you've been teaching this student all year long, and he's up front, and he's funny, and you talk to him after school sometimes, or between classes, he's a funny kid, and you like him.
Yep.
And then, but he's on the borderline, and he missed passing, or he needed an A, because he's trying to get into a big school, like 2 points. Fucking giving it to Johnny, aren't you? Johnny's cool.
Right? Even if Johnny was a dick, I'd be like, well, I don't want to deal with Johnny next year, so go ahead. Like, whatever we have to do to get Johnny out of here.
You do what you do. It's, it's like the real world. It's like, except for there's some anal people. But, like, I'm like, oh, I really like Johnny. He, it seemed like he tried. Good job, Johnny. I'm changing that grade to a 69. Or whatever, Yeah.
Who really gives it? I mean, what do they care? I don't. I think it would be difficult to be a teacher who eventually you've got to like capitulate as a teacher and go, yeah, I'm not going to care just like everybody else. Because what's the point of a teacher caring all the time, year after year after year, when nobody else cares?
I mean,
that would be mind numbing.
Yeah. You'd probably get jaded, but it would be hard because you'd see the good kids, and like coaching youth sports, I'm very cynical and everybody's an asshole, but man, most kids are pretty cool, and most kids are really likable, and I really enjoy like trying to build up kids' confidence and hopefully give them something positive experience. So I get that. But like being a teacher now and doing that that's like 2 hours a week. Being a teacher and dealing with that every day with the bullshit that you got to go through.
Yes.
But here I got a video here.
It's been like, why care?
This is and like who's signing up for this? For this right here.
You think that affected me any?
You want me to hit you again? You want me to hit you again?
I don't want it.
You want me to hit you again?
I don't want
You want
it.
me to hit you again?
My God.
Oh, stop playing with me. I told your dumb ass I'll knock those dumb ass glass off your face.
And do I look like I care?
Wrong with you?
Boy, she's kind of a hard ass, ain't she?
I mean, that's a bad
That's
woman
a
right
bad
there.
bitch right there.
What you gonna do? Still sit in that chair? You use a bitch. My
Well, she refuses to break character.
granny, nigga, stop playing with me. Bitch ass. Ain't nobody even come and you just got slapped. Bitch, go back to teaching. Yo, soft ass.
Oh, that was the first. I missed the first one. That was the first
Bro.
one. So he got her twice.
Bitch ass.
But she
You think
didn't
that affected
flip.
me
You want
any?
me to hit you again? You want me to hit you again?
I don't want it.
You want me to hit you again?
I don't want
You want me
it.
to hit you again?
My God.
Did she say fuck off? Who said fuck
know.
off? I think she did.
No, that's a girl filming it.
Okay.
I don't want
You want me to
it.
hit you again?
My God.
Stop playing with me.
And
That is so sad to watch.
see, and back in the day, there's somebody standing up and kicking this guy's ass.
Which I would have liked to think that I would be, but I'd be like, I don't know, this guy's pretty big and angry.
No, but there's somebody. Johnny Football's in this class.
Yeah.
He's fucking kicking this guy's ass. Nobody's even, they're filming it and laughing. And if you're a teacher, you want to deal with that shit?
Yeah, for what? That's what I mean. Like, it would be difficult to
You
be a
wanna
teacher
deal
and
with that?
care.
How do you, I can't blame any teacher for not just not caring at all anymore.
Just go with the flow and try to, get through the year, get your paycheck and move on and
And it's such a crock. We spend more on education probably than any country in the world. And like every year you get the list. You get the list of 30 things that they want you to go to the store and buy for that class.
Yes.
And you're like,
Uh-huh.
I pay taxes for all this. What are you talking about? And they've got people conditioned to going, oh, it's time to buy stuff for the school. You pay taxes, and they stole the money and make you pay for the glue and the paste and the paper and the crayons. And everybody just does it.
Yep.
Let's go pay for the stuff we already paid for.
You're so right. And then furthermore, you'll have the teachers, they go, I had to come out of my own pocket to get this, and I'm going, well, I wouldn't do that. If I was a teacher, sorry, we're not going to be doing this project this year because they didn't provide me with the materials. And I also don't think that you kids in your family should be responsible for it. So we're going to go ahead and skip this one. Y'all are getting A's. Let's move on.
Yep. I'd send a note home and say, we are not able to color anymore because the government did not provide me with crayons. Just letting you know.
Virtual coloring.
What a bunch of bullshit. What do you say, babe? You out there? No.
Oh, she said not everybody buys it.
No, not us, but most people.
See, I like that. She's taking a stand. Meanwhile, we buy it. We just, we're just like, I guess we got to do it. We cave because sometimes it's easier to cave, unfortunately.
What are you going to, you're not going to, other than not buying it and saying something, there's nothing you can do. You're not going to stop it.
Just going to wear it.
It's just, never again will they have enough supplies for the school. It's like, I mean, the education budget for the Department of Education, whatever, what is that? What does that do? It's like in the billions, the yearly budget. And they ain't doing nothing, and you got to buy crayons.
And not to take it back to this, but I still, okay, so now financial literacy, right? Big topic of conversation. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
It should have been taught in schools for decades, right? Financial literacy. That should be one of the number one most taught subjects ever, right? But how can a system that's so fucking broke teach financial literacy? It is the definition of hypocrisy.
That would be the definition of hypocrisy.
Which is so strange.
We're the antithesis of what you should do financially. Our government is white trash with credit cards, and nobody even talks about it. It's absurd. It's absurd.
I know.
$90,000 for a bag of ball bearings.
The trillion, the debt thing just got me unzipped today.
Yeah,
it's on my brain.
The immigration and the debt. I don't know if there's much more than that that's really that important. I'm so sick of this abortion shit. And the fact that anybody would care about a pill that a woman takes after she sleeps with somebody and stops her from having a baby is the most preposterous.
Yep.
If you I would never vote for anybody who believed that you can't have a day after pill. It's absurd.
I look at it as there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 concerns. Tier 1, obviously the debt, immigration. Tier 2 I don't even know what tier 2 would be, because tier 3 to me is abortion, gay rights struggles, racist stuff, all that stuff that they fill. It's all filler stories or something. That's top tier would be also nuclear war. I think that's probably up there.
Probably. But they make your tier 3.
They make them the tier 1.
Tier 1.
And meanwhile, the tier 1s move down to tier 3, and you never hear about them.
You never hear about them. It's such an obvious. But what are you gonna? We figured it out.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's
Mike and Matt haven't figured out.
Sometimes it's nice, because you'll have the rare comedian or the rare commentator or the Rand Paul, and you hear him and you're like, well, you don't do anything about it, but you're like, yeah, he said the truth. Rand Paul knows what's going down. I knew I wasn't crazy, and they let him be there to do that.
Yeah.
Because I know I'd love to go see back in the day Bill Maher and George Carlin, and you love to hear somebody who's espousing the things that you believe in.
Yeah, like-minded individuals. Sure.
It's like, because when it's so rare, it's like they're out of the norm. You're like, I'm out of the norm. I think of the world differently than most people. And so when there's somebody who talks like I do, it's like, yeah, oh,
Well, okay.
like my barber.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. So like, I don't know if you have access to your email or not, but I sent you like 2 things today. I don't even know. Like, there's one. It's titled Andrew Tate, right? So,
Yeah.
and look, you can love the guy, hate the guy, but some of his stuff and that he talks about, some of it you go, all right, he's not off base, right, on some stuff.
No, he's on base on some stuff.
Some stuff you go, all right, he's there going a little far with this one, but he's working his gimmick, so whatever. But this thing in particular, I found interesting because, I'm not going to sit here and shill Bitcoin because I do that probably too much. But this is like the perfect example of what we were talking about, like with the debt and everything like that. This is a good summary of it in general.
What happened here?
Ruh-roh.
Okay, my bad.
You can actually have your money, right? How else are you going to have it? In cash? And then you got to deal with the inflation? How difficult is it to move serious cash? I had to send, it's about 4 years ago, I sent $900,000 to Qatar for a completely legal reason.
Why?
I wanted to buy a property in Qatar. So I was involved in the purchasing of a property in Qatar. The backflips, the paperwork, the legal nightmare. I swear to God, I was put on a travel list because for about a year after that, I was stopped at every airport just for a bank transfer, right? No problem with Bitcoin. No problem. So it fixes a whole bunch of problems, cryptocurrencies. It certainly does. I think a lot of people who are forward thinking and believe the things I believe in, it's the only logical conclusion. What else are you going to do? Trust a bank? Will you trust them? There's nothing else to do with it. I'm actually at the point where, although I do own quite a lot of property, I don't want any more. And I keep getting offered nice property deals. And Tristan's like, should we buy this? It's like, no, I don't even trust the Romanian government or the Russian government. I have property in Moscow. I don't even trust the government anymore. I don't even want a property because if I piss the government off, they're just going to take it. I don't own it. They say you own it until you annoy the government, then you don't.
He's totally right.
Completely
Totally right.
And this is before, I think this clip is way before he got in trouble with the Romanian government. But yeah, it's like they don't want you to have it. They just won't let you have it.
I'll take it.
Own it, right? So I don't even want property anymore. I'm going full crazy Mr. Blockchain now because it's the only time I feel like I have control over things. And we're losing control at such a rapid rate. I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve. People saying, oh, I'll just buy a house and it's my little house. It's not your little house. You'll see how quickly they'll take your little house from you. Look what they've done so far. They've taken your business from you. You think they want to take your little house? People are not scared enough of the right things. They're scared of Corona. They should be scared of what the government did to
This is also true.
Very much.
Also true.
them in the name of Corona. That's what they should be. But people aren't logical. People aren't logical. People have low IQs. They're slaves. And they're too busy, preoccupied with racism and all this other garbage to keep them split so they can't all get together for 5 seconds and start thinking, wait, this is bullshit. You remember the big Bitcoin crash, $5,400 at the beginning of this Corona thing? When it really, really tanked. And everyone's saying, it's over, all this crap. I put a tweet up that I still retweet to this day saying, you're all pussies. Bitcoin's coming back. I think I said, I'm buying $600,000 today and we can talk when it's 8,000. I think I said that. So I'll turn 600 grand to like $12 million.
What do you say, 8,000?
I think you bought it at 6,000 or something like that.
So it's 60. Well, it fluctuates right now at this stage.
Right now it's like 61.
Between 60 and 70 in the last, few months. It's just, it's 60, 70, 60, 70. So he's made it, he's made a shit ton of money.
Oh yeah.
It's a shit ton of money.
Yeah. But
if you bought it, at the very beginning, it was a great investment.
You could still, I still think it is. But even if you were to buy today, because again, where's the dollar headed?
You never know. But it all depends. Like, if the government, like you say, the government owns Bitcoin, but the government don't care. They print money. They could lose every Bitcoin or not mean 1 ounce to them. If the government and the governments around the world, they're all in cahoots. It's obvious. You can see how they react to all these, COVID and everything. They don't want Bitcoin. They'll say it's a crime to own Bitcoin, and they'll start actively cyber NSA 10,000 agents finding everybody who's got Bitcoin and taking you to jail.
I'm not saying it's not possible, but I think that's unlikely. But I'm not saying it's impossible. You know, who knows? I know that there was a couple real estate investors now, and they talk about it, and they're like, and I wish I had done this. Is instead of like buying people buy properties, second houses, whatever, and it's like, what's the point of buying a second that you've got to worry about maintenance on, you've got to worry about property taxes, this, that, and the other, right? Or you just buy Bitcoin. And, you just let it sit there. You don't have to worry about maintenance fees. You don't have to worry about HOAs. You don't have to worry about getting a new roof. You don't have to worry about property taxes. You just let it sit. Just let it sit. I mean, you got to have hope.
Yeah.
You got to have faith in what it is and the reasons you're owning it. But, if you're looking at owning Bitcoin or real estate, man, there's a good argument to be made to just buy Bitcoin. I don't know.
I mean, at least you could say, like, plenty of people say, I spend, $500 to $1,000 a year on the lotto, which is a complete pipe dream beyond pipe dream.
I don't know, man. I won 5 or 6 numbers, but go on. I understand.
Take that 1,000 or 500 every year and buy Bitcoin, because if it's like the lotto, the odds are still way better.
Yes.
Way better than 1 in 72 million, So, the odds are way better that Bitcoin's than 1 in 72 million. So why wouldn't you invest, just a little in it? That's, I think it would be wise to invest for everybody. I saw a video some guy way back in the day, and he's going, I beg you, buy $1 in Bitcoin. This is probably when it was nothing.
11 years ago or something. Yeah.
And he just went on for like 5 minutes. I'm pleading with everyone, just $1 a Bitcoin. So,
Yep.
And so if you got on Bitcoin was not 70,000, that's a pretty astronomical rise. So hopefully Pepe the Frog, because Trace has got he's got 400,000 shares of Pepe the Frog. GeoJam, I think he's got GeoJam too.
I haven't heard of GeoJam. That's good stuff.
It'd be so ironic if Trace eventually was, buying us houses because he was a Bitcoin billionaire.
That'd be great. That would be so awesome.
So awesome.
I think that's the funniest part is like there's some of these early Bitcoiners, investors, and stuff like that. Look, man, there's this transfer of wealth that could potentially happen for a lot of those folks. A lot of the early Bitcoiners who were just looked at as cyber nerds and all this stuff, and it's like, no, they've got something they believe in here. And you fast forward a decade, and here it's really mainstream and has arrived, and all the old guard laughed at it. And I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's great to watch this transfer of wealth. I want every one of those early Bitcoiners to just be loaded because they deserve it.
Yeah, I think if you think of the people who are really in Bitcoin, it's a fairly small amount of people, who have a significant amount of Bitcoin. So the government will be totally fine with letting those people get rich if they can figure out a way for all their cronies to get rich on Bitcoin. And that's a pretty good bet. So yeah, you might as well jump in and go along. They don't give a shit that a few thousand people got rich. They just screwed 280 million, and they took all the money. Yeah, see, that's what it is. I'm going Bitcoin now.
There you go. Finally, I finally orange pilled you.
The government will find a way to make Bitcoin work for them, and they'll switch it.
Yes, agreed.
That wouldn't surprise me in the least.
What do we got going on with the chat? Anything interesting before we wrap this bad boy up? Of which then will be live on the clusterfshow.com. And, of course,
clusterfshow.com.
Download the show on Spotify and watch it on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff that the kids tell you to do these days. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find no questions.
Yeah, all right, perfect. That works.
It's too many words.
I know there's a lot
It's too many words.
of stuff.
I just look at it and go, oh, so many words. I'm just looking for question marks, actually. I'm just like, I don't see any question marks. Probably not a good way to do it. Maybe you guys aren't using punctuation. I need question marks.
Please give me a question mark.
All right. Well, I don't see any questions. Next week, we're going to do an entire show.
No, we won't. We'll say we will.
The hang, we're just so wrapped up in the hanging.
Well,
this is a professional. It's an ultimate level of hanging, and it's not.
Yes.
It
is an ultimate hang.
Requires our full attention.
A hang that is so enthralling that we are going to produce our own batch of bourbon.
Yes, we are.
And you can drop the deuce and purchase one, and it will be coming to market.
It's called the Hang.
Yep,
the Hang bourbon, and you can drop the deuce.
That's it.
You can drop the deuce with Mike and Matt.
Be first in. Drop the deuce.
A Dark Passenger says, Manson, there has to be a way to watch the VIP hour live. Well, as I've said many times before, if anybody out there knows anything about computers, it's like, how do you broadcast from your own website? And if you can, is it cost of money? How do you broadcast from your own website? But nobody's ever gotten back to me on that. So I don't know. I don't know how you broadcast from your own, because you'd have to have a server or something. I don't know nothing about that shit. But
we're Beavis and Butthead over here.
But I'd love to do this. I'd love to do the VIP live. But I don't know how. I have no idea how to do that.
Okay, I'll be totally honest with you. This whole time, I thought it was. I had no. I've had no clue. This is all news to me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah, it's just taped for the VIP.
Oh, well, hey.
Look, you're totally devastated now.
Oh, man.
Now this is going to be a totally different vibe.
Oh,
the
man.
VIP show's going to suck.
Pre-recorded entertainment.
Oh,
yeah.
It's going to suck ass. Oh, shit. The patio show. I don't know what that means, Dog Log. We thought of taking the bar show and running another camera out to the patio, and then we take a break. We could also be on. Then we don't get a break, really, because we're on. But then you just don't pay attention. You just smoke and drink and don't worry about the patio cam. And pretend like you're not on the air. Hogan fart. I don't know what that means. Hogan fart to what? Have a show outside. You guys could have been editing the VIP hour this whole time. No, we don't edit.
Nope.
Editing.
There's never been one edit. That
No.
we can say with 100%.
No, we don't edit. I don't, see, like, I can make clips and stuff on Twitch on their editing thing, and it's super easy. And I just don't have the gumption to learn to edit on anything else. So what I do is anything I want to do, I just go live and do it, and then I edit it because I know how to edit it.
Hey, look, it's called the Cluster F. It's in the title.
As Trace goes, he says, we're not doers. And I was like, you're right. I'm not a doer. I like stuff to be thrown into my lap.
Well, we will be not live, but we will be on clusterfshow.com.
Yes, live for the VIP, the Hang OT. Matt's devastated. It's going to be the worst OT ever.
That's right.
He might leave. It'll
I
just
might.
be me.
I'm
And
outta
he'll be on
here.
the phone. He's like, yeah, this is good enough for not live. All right, thanks for tuning into the Hang. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock for Cluster F. And the Mike and Jerry show is back tomorrow at 11. And the Hang VIP, clusterfshow.com, will be up sometime later tomorrow. It takes a while because like on Thursdays I have the Hang, I have the VIP,
Hey,
I have Cluster F.
You don't have to explain it
I
to
gotta
me.
download them, then I gotta compress them, and then individually on the website and the Twitch and the YouTube.
Well, you've been spending too much time with Jerry.
It just sucks. It's just very time consuming. So people are like, why aren't we getting the Hang till 3 or 4 o'clock? And it's like, well, maybe I had to deliver flowers that day.
This is a trip. This whole thing's a trip.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody on the VIP and at Cluster F tomorrow morning at 8. See you. Thanks for tuning in, man.